Hi guys, and welcome to TechteamGB. Now this one is the third episode in the project table. If you haven't seen the first two episodes, the first one was basically kind of a teaser, but the second one was all of the parts that I'm using, so do go check that one out before you watch this one if you haven't seen that. I just wanted to clarify something from the last video. Yes, the PC parts are awesome and very high-end, and they don't fit in with the budget title, but what I mean by budget is the desk and the sort of case part itself. If you're including the desk as a sort of second-hand £30 IKEA type desk, which is what this is, the glass that I got custom fit to the size, also the wood, the screws and the sandpaper, you're still talking, I think, a maximum of about £100 total, and I still have a whole load of wood left, so I could make, I think with the amount of wood I have left, it's something like I could probably make 2 more of these boxes, the exact same size, and I would still have plenty left. So yeah, if you're talking about the amount of wood that you actually end up using, I think it's probably something like 70 or £80, which is about the same price as something like a Cooler Master master case or something. So and obviously if you're comparing that to the ridiculously high-end, you know, I think it's a Red Harbinger desk, that's like £2,000 to £4,000 or something like that, and even the Lian Li desks are still in the sort of £1,000, so this is somewhere between a 10th and a 40th of the price. So yeah, just sort of clarify that one. Basically the plan for today is to clean off the table, which is rather messy and rather full of stuff. So I'm going to take all this stuff off, take the PC monitors upstairs and that sort of thing, and then basically move the table into the centre of the room and actually start planning where I'm going to be putting the PC, go to B&Q and get the wood and that sort of stuff, and then go and get the glass cut and fabricated, and hopefully I'll be able to get some video of that because that might be quite cool. But yeah, either way, hopefully it's going to be a good one. One trip to the local B&Q later, and then ended up actually getting a sheet of 18mm plyboard cut to rough sizes. Now, when I say rough sizes, I actually did the measurements in my head wrong, so I ended up getting the piece cut a little bit too big, but otherwise it's basically a B&Q do free cuts, and I should have got the pieces that I wanted cut to size first, but well. Also picked up a 100-piece drill bit set and some single-threaded wood screws as well, for ease of installation, and then ended up having a lot of fun trying to get the pieces that were cut a little bit too big into my car. So yeah. Right, so now we have the desk cleared, which feels like a very weird thing because this is the desk that I sit at every single day, and it feels very big because also the PC kind of took up this much space, and then the monitors kind of took up all of this, so you're only really left with sort of this stuff. So to see it empty is yeah, kind of weird, but basically the plan is that we're going to be putting the PC roughly in this section. There's a support beam that runs across underneath that runs around about sort of this area, so that's kind of our hard limit for how far down we can go, which is fine anyway. And in terms of width, I think I'm basically going to go for about 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters. Because a motherboard is 30, and then, for example, a power supply is a little bit less than 10, if I remember rightly. So there'll be plenty of space in between, and especially space in between for the thickness of the wood that I'm going to be using and that sort of thing. And I'm also going to be leaving a little bit more than this sort of size gap, so that we can have some airflow for the fan, for the radiator that's going to be mounted on the top, and there's going to be a little bit more than sort of this size gap on this side, so that we can actually reach the rear I/O and the graphics card I/O and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, basically I'm just going to sort of measure it out, do a few probably fairly crude lines, and then go from there. So to give you a little bit of a better idea on how this is going to work out, what it's going to look like, this is what I'm after here. This is a couple of screenshots of a 3D model I made in Maya, where basically I plan on having a sloping edge with a decent amount of space sort of in the top to be able to fit all the components. And I'm also going to have a false floor in there as well, which isn't shown in the screenshots, so I can do cable management under the motherboard. There's definitely some things that I want to change in the future to this, but for now this is how it's going to be. Now I'm also basically just just planning out the pieces that I'm going to need to cut. I was planning on doing a lip for the glass made of wood, but I ended up planning on using just multiple screws, which seems to work just fine. And then I planned, basically drew out the sections that I need for the back and the bottom, and then went to work on working out the sloping edge. Okay, so the plan is that I'm going to have this bottom piece is obviously going to be 30 centimeters, and then I'm going to have a sloping section. So if this was the kind of, you know, the table itself, this would be the top, the actual desk surface. This would be the where the motherboard sits, sort of here. The rear I/O would come out this way, and then I want a sloping bit. So obviously the triangle here is for Pythagoras theorem, the thing that you told your maths teacher you would never use, and then apparently if you end up designing stuff like a table and a PC, you end up using. So basically, because the gap up here is 50 centimeters, and that's going to be hopefully exactly 50 centimeters, this piece which I measured out here is going to be 30, again hopefully, which means that this space here is 20, and I've designed the piece down the bottom to be 25 centimeters deep, so that's going to be 25 centimeters deep as well. Add some units. So basically I just need to work out the distance of this to be able to work out how big a piece I need, and then I can also try and work out the angles and that sort of stuff, but that might need some assistance from the genius upstairs. Equals apparently 32.01562 ... After working at the sloping edge, I went to get my piece of glass that's custom fit. Now this one actually only cost £25, including the polishing, cleaning and cutting the actual piece to perfect size, so that's really awesome. This was a local firm as well, which is always nice to sort of support local businesses and stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to be able to show you what goes into cutting a single piece of glass to size and basically polishing it and cleaning it and that sort of thing, which is actually a fairly simple process. You strike it off, as you can see, and then you just snap it. It's very simple. It looks so fragile when you can just snap it like that, but it was quite cool to see. This is the edge polishing machine. It basically goes through and uses air pressure and motors with sort of lubricating fluid to bevel and clean off the edge. So if you've got any notches or anything that's kind of dented into the glass, or any chips taken out, this will basically take off a millimeter per time it goes through, which is actually pretty cool. It looks awesome. Is quite loud, but otherwise is cool to see the sort of beveled edge, which you can see here, is sort of corners, and obviously you do that on all four sides to get a very nice appeal. They also put it through the washing machine, which basically just, you know, rolls the glass through, sprays it with a lot of soapy water and gives it a bit of a rub, and then a massive dryer that dries it ridiculously quickly and then pushes it out very, very clean on the other side, which is awesome. So that's pretty much it for this video. The next one will be actually building the box that will attach to the table, and that sort of stuff, and actually doing what I've been planning on in this video. I've kind of been doing it as the stages that I've gone through, the kind of main areas of obviously the parts themselves, planning it, and then next Friday at 8 PM GMT will be the sort of, you know, actually building the box. The one after that will be painting it and putting all the parts in it, and then the final one will just be the sort of conclusion, the benchmarks, showing it off in all its glory and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I hope that's all right. Hope you don't mind the multi-part thing too much. It's just because it's like this one I think ends up being somewhere like 10 to 15 minutes. The next one I know is going to be something like 20 minutes just building the box, and that's with it fairly cut down. So yeah, I thought that having it split up into distinct parts made a little bit more sense. But yeah, either way, let me know what you think of the project so far in the comments down below. Feel free to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe for the more videos. We've obviously got awesome stuff coming out in between as well, so do check those out on Monday, Wednesday, and obviously the project on Friday. And we've got stuff coming out on Saturdays for the next couple weeks as well, including HTC Vive thoughts, also the LG monitor review from the VR build guide, and that sort of stuff. So they will be coming out on Saturdays, so do check those out too. And other than that, thanks for watching. As I said, I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to let me know what you think of the project in the comments down below, and we'll see you all in the next one.